They took us into one of the bedrooms, and the candles were lit, the lights were turned off.
Some of the people had masks and wigs on.
We had to bow down to them, kiss a skull's head.
They immediately started screaming at us.
They held us, and I just was screaming. You could feel the flesh on your skin just burning.
Damara Karamasinas and Jessica Zimmerman still bear the physical and emotional scars from that night almost 2 years ago. In a bizarre hazing ritual, they were branded by their sorority sisters.
That night, they took it from me. My bubbliness, my personality, my trust. They took everything from me that night.
G, fighting. You make me feel so good.
Most sorority pledging experiences are positive, like these at the University of Iowa, with their pledge songs and skits.
I wouldn't change your class good. Ohio is the only way to go.
Young women putting their best foot forward during Rush in an effort to attract new members.
Ooh, this is the perfect night, ooh, and everything's just right, ooh.
Inviting potential pledges into their sorority house, enticing them with socials, formal dinners, and promises of long-lasting friendships.
You and I will give my heart to you.
The experience of Jessica and Damara started out the same way at Indiana's DePauw University. Both were away from home for the first time and thought Kappa Kappa Gamma, with its pledge moms and sorority sisters, could provide them with a sort of family away from home.
Tell me why you decided to pledge a sorority, to join a sorority.
These will be your friends for life. This will be your family for the next 4 years. These are the people you will trust.
It was sisterhood and bonding with women and social functions and secrets and laughing.
Kappa Kappa Gamma actively courted the freshmen to become members.
They introduced you to everybody, pretty much. This is Damara, she's one of our new pledges, and you just felt great.
Like you belonged?
Yeah, you were there. You made it.
But she hadn't made it yet. Damara says she and 29 other girls had been selected to be members of Kappa, but they would have to go through initiation first, and Damara had heard rumors about hazing.
I asked them flat out about the rumors, and they're like, no, nothing like that will ever happen. We will never do anything like that.
The initiation ended with a formal dinner at Kappa's sorority house. Damara expected a night similar to many of their other pledge nights, one of songs and candlelight ceremonies. But Damara and Jessica say their pledge moms had something else in mind.
I felt intimidated that she was making it clear through her tone of voice and the looks that she gave me that I had to drink this.
Damara and Jessica say their pledge moms took them to fraternity parties and pressured them to drink wine, beer, and shots of liquor. Remember, Damara was only 17 years old. Jessica was 18.
Do you normally drink?
I'm not saying that I hadn't before, but I'm not a heavy drinker at all. And my tolerance is very, very low.
So how are you feeling?
I was very intoxicated.
After several hours at the party, Damara and Jessica say they and 2 other pledges were brought to a dorm room where they were surrounded by 15 Kappa sorority sisters. They lit a cigarette and told the 5 pledges they were about to be branded. The older sisters doing it to them said they had all been branded themselves, a tradition, they say, that had been going on for the past 4 years.
She came over on the couch I was sitting at and pulled the side of my jeans down enough to my hip and held the cigarette to my hip.
And they counted 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, up until 6, or when I was just screaming in pain so much that they took it off.
It must have felt like eternity.
It was probably the longest 5 seconds in my life.
The branding left both young women with severe burns and scars even now, almost 2 years later.
You have an academic scholarship. You're a very smart young lady. Why would you stay in that room? Why didn't you get up and leave?
When you leave home for the first time, and you're naive and you're 18 and you think you know, and you don't. When you're put in a room like that with people that you trust and you look up to and you follow, and to be put in a situation like that, you don't know what you're going to do.
But what happened to Damara and Jessica is not an isolated incident. Stephanie White, Adrian Oldham, and Nicolette Cargill say they were hazed, but they not only sustained physical abuse, but emotional abuse as well.
Everything was a mind game. Everything. At no point was I in control of anything that was going on with me.
It began in the spring of 1995. Nicolette, Adrian, and Stephanie were drawn to Delta Sigma Theta at the University of Louisville, Kentucky, because they wanted to make friends and contacts. But in order to get membership, the girls say, the sorority sisters would make sure the pledges paid a price.
I was pushed, shoved. I've been hit in my chest with a fist.
I was paddled. I have had water thrown in my face. I have been slapped.
They say all 13 pledges were required to live in one room in this dorm. They were deprived of sleep, humiliated, and referred to by number instead of by name.
You know, the whole process of hazing is one where the individual's identity is stripped away.
Carrie Keating is a social psychologist at Colgate University. She's done extensive research on the effects of hazing.
Once you have a strong group identity, it is very hard to deny the group anything.
Even going so far as to allow yourself to be branded or to be paddled?
Yes.
But it wasn't the physical side of hazing that hurt the most, these three say. It was when their upperclassmen, in the name of bonding and sisterhood, preyed on their emotions.
Physical hazing can be dealt with. It's the mental things I can't deal with. And women tend to be more vindictive.
Yeah.
And women tend to know just the right thing to say to hit that soft spot in your heart.
Adrian, Stephanie, and Nicolette say their older sorority sisters targeted the 13 younger women's weaknesses, degrading them, calling them fat and ugly, all the time threatening to deny them membership in the sorority.
Men are usually more physical. The aggression is physical, whereas with women it's psychological. Mm-hmm. Is either one of them more damaging? Is either one of them just nastier?
Social rejection is particularly harsh for women.
And that's what the hazing threatens to do?
And hazing often involves social rejection or the threat of social rejection.
They demeaned my character. They tried to make me less than a woman than I am. And that hurt.
Girls can be as mean as guys. I think it'd be more emotional. Of, let's take your low point and then make you scream it to the entire neighborhood that you're a wimp.
Oh, you're amazing. Sarah Dronick wanted to belong so much she was willing to put herself in a life-threatening situation. In the spring of 1993, she joined Lambda Delta Sigma at Concordia College in Minnesota, hoping to make new friends. To become a member, she says, she had to participate in an outdoor scavenger hunt. Girls were divided into groups of 3 and were put into cars.
We were told to go into the backseat of the car, put our heads down. You could not look out. You could not talk.
One of Sarah's sorority sisters drove her and 2 other pledges across the river into Fargo, North Dakota. There, the 3 were dropped in a wooded area and told to find their way back. Sarah says she spent most of the night outside in sub-zero temperatures, often wading in knee-deep snow.
And I was crying by now and telling them that my feet were cold and they hurt and my legs hurt and I have pulled muscles and I don't think they can do it anymore.
Sarah's foot was frostbitten. It turned blue and swelled so much she couldn't put on her shoe. Sarah's fellow pledges were worried, and once they found their way back to campus, they notified Lambda Delta Sigma. Sarah says some of the sorority sisters insisted she continue the initiation and humiliated her by making her get up in front of the entire group of more than 40 young women.
They told me to stand up in front of everybody and shout that I am a wimp. Hear me cry moo. Because my foot turned blue and I was in pain. I was a wimp. And so I needed to scream it as loud so everybody could hear that I couldn't do it.
Not wanting to disappoint her sorority sisters, Sarah struggled till morning to finish the initiation activities and was rewarded with membership in Lambda Delta Sigma. When she finally sought medical attention, doctors told her the situation was serious.
They told me that they wanted to schedule emergency amputation in the morning at 6:30 to cut off my toes.
Sarah persuaded them not to amputate. Only after months of painful procedures were doctors sure her foot could be saved. But Sarah says that despite the physical pain she endured, it was the humiliation that hurt the most.
The memories of that, you want to forget them, but you can't. I think that the scars you can't see are the ones that take longer to heal.
All the universities and sororities we spoke with said they do not permit or condone hazing, and in every situation, the sorority was sanctioned. They say new pledges are required to go through hazing education and sign documents like this one saying they will not allow themselves to be hazed, and most honor that.
Sarah Dronik, despite the physical and emotional pain she says she endured, went ahead and became a member of Lambda Delta Sigma. When Sarah suggested that the other girls stop hazing, she says they told her,
"Sarah, sit down and shut up. Stop. This is tradition. This is what we do."
1 month after the hazing occurred, Damara left DePaul University. Jessica also felt compelled to transfer schools and is still trying to come to terms with what happened that night.
What advice would you give to other young women who want to go through Rush and pledge sororities?
To be extremely careful. Extremely careful.
Sarah Dronik, the girl who developed frostbite after spending hours in the snow, decided to sue Lambda Delta Sigma and Concordia College. Both organizations deny responsibility for what happened.